consideration of a bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Agency as the central body in Nigeria responsible for receiving, requesting, analyzing, and disseminating financial intelligence reports and other information to law enforcement, security, and intelligence agencies and other relevant authorities, and for related matters. Honorable colleagues will recall that the bill was committed to the Committee of the Whole on Thursday, 27 July 2017. Honorable Kayode Oladele will move for its consideration. Kayode.
To establish the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Agency as the central body in Nigeria responsible for receiving, requesting, analyzing, and disseminating financial intelligence reports and other information to law enforcement, security, and intelligence agencies and other relevant authorities, and for related matters, Bill HB 1032 be considered by the House.
Law enforcement, security, and intelligence agencies and other relevant authorities, and for related matters, 2017, House Bill 1082. And I invite Chairman EFCC to speak to the report.
They were not federal constituency. Distinguished colleagues, I am from Ogun State. Mr. Chairman, this is a bill to provide for a legal framework for the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Agency as the central body in Nigeria responsible for receiving, requesting, analyzing, and disseminating financial intelligence reports and other information to law enforcement, security, and intelligence agencies and other relevant authorities, and for related matters. Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, you may ask me, why do we need this now? When the EFCC Act was passed, Section 1, Subsection 2C of the Act states that the EFCC shall be the designated Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit. And Section 6F of the Act also stipulates that the EFCC shall receive, analyze, and disseminate financial intelligence, subsistence transaction reports in Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, these, according to the International Financial Organization, particularly the Egmont Group of Financial Institutions that Nigeria belongs, these are regarded as the core functions of the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit. And fusing the two together will obstruct, according to them, the functions of the NFIU. According to Recommendation 29 of the Financial Action Task Force, an FIU, that's the Financial Intelligence Unit, can be established and be made part of a bigger organization as long as the FIU has operational as well as financial autonomy. So according to them, the fusion of the EFCC's roles with that of the FIU would affect the operational autonomy of the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit. And as such, they recommended about 5 years ago that there should be a legal framework that will separate the FIU from the EFCC. Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, an attempt was made by the last assembly to pass this, but unfortunately, when it was sent to the president for assent, it was not done before the last administration went up. You will recall that just about 4 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, Nigeria was suspended from the Egmont Group of Financial Intelligence. And this was because they said that we have failed to provide legal framework for the FIU as stipulated by them, despite the fact that Nigeria has consistently assured them that something will be done to do this. Thereafter, the acting president then, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, constituted a committee to look into it and see how best we can deal with it. The chairman, my colleague in the Senate, was made the chairman of the panel, and I was also a member of the panel, the presidential committee. And then we came up with a new bill. The bill has passed the Senate, and again, it was introduced by the House to the House just shortly before we went on vacation, and referred to the committee, to my committee, and of course to the committee of the whole House. Distinguished colleagues, what we are here doing today is just to comply, to ensure that we separate the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. It will first delete Section 1, Subsection 2C, that says that the EFCC shall be the designated Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, and delete Section 1, Section 6L, that gives the EFCC the power to receive. So that we are deleting that from the EFCC Act, and by deleting it, it's there, sir. It's there. I'm only explaining. And by deleting...
This is a new bill entirely. And you are now making a copious reference to EFCC Act. And you are telling us orally that it's just by deleting so, and deleting so. Procedurally, that will not be taken here. What do you want us to do exactly? Pass this bill, but don't make references to the EFCC Act, because it's not with us.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry for that. I think... Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry about that.
You don't have to confuse you. So if you think by deleting those two sections of the original Act of EFCC has something to do with this, let us know, so that we don't pass a bill that at the end of the day, at the point of execution, is going to be contravening each other. Because so you let us know that by simply passing this one, having not been able to delete those sections you are mentioning in those acts, will now begin to run in a counter way. So let us know. We have lawyers on the floor, so we deliberate on it and see. We have to step this one down and see whether the FCC, the mere fact that it has been passed by Senate, does not mean that we are duty bound and compelled to do so, if we are able to know what is wrong with it.
Well, Mr. Chairman, let me a public hearing on a bill to amend the EFCC Act, and that Section 1, Section 2C has been recommended for amendment. The same as passed the Senate. And the reason why there is an expediency on this one is because Nigeria has been given
discussion here, because this is the final stage of our work. As a lawyer, you just told us now that has been recommended. If this bill is passed today, listen, Kayode, please, if this bill is passed today and is sent to Mr. President, and by next week Mr. President has sent to this bill, you now have some sections that have not been deleted, and this bill is operational. So it means, okay, enlighten us.
Mr. Speaker, sir, let me enlighten you on this, sir, as a lawyer now, not just as the chairman. A law can amend a section of another law. That is very, very legal. This one here now is deleting that Section 1, Subsection 2C of the EFCC Act is hereby deleted. And in law, let me, it's not the first time. It's here. It's possible. And let me...
we know your position now. You started it. So since you have started it, this one is going to be thoroughly debated. Please, those of us who are lawyers, his current position is that you can use another bill to delete other section. Yes, if you say yes, we'll go ahead. So I will ask, okay, Jeff, I will ask Yinka Ajayi, and who are the other lawyers on the floor to throw more lights on what Kayode Oladele is saying.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Page 15, section 28 is there. Consequential amendment. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Establishment Act is amended by deleting section 12C and 6L of the Act.
Thank you very much. We now clause 2, clause 3, clause 4, clause 5. This one, no, I've not given you the floor. Unless if it is so fundamental, but if it is typographical, I've banged the gavel. No, it's not about hearing you out. It's about procedure. Okay, go on.
It's something, they have their own procedure. In most jurisdictions, we have 156 member states. In most jurisdictions, they are not regarded as very high there. The heads of agencies of this unit are usually appointed even by the ministers without anything. On the issue of the confirmation by the Senate, the committee that was set up by the president met with us, my committee and the Senate committee, and we looked at all the jurisdictions, and we discovered that even the name using the title Director General would be so much for that position, because it's a unit actually. So we have therefore decided, going by all the jurisdictions around the world, that these agencies are usually headed by directors or assistant directors, as the case may be. It would be too much to say that a director should be confirmed by the Senate, particularly, yes. So if we do this today, and we say it should be confirmed by the Senate, we will have to send this same bill back to the Financial Action Task Force and the Egmont Group abroad for them to look at it and admit whether they want it to be like that. Because this is an international something. They have their template. They have their template. So if we do it today, we'll send it to their compliance committee. They will look at it. They will get back to us. But don't forget, Nigeria has been suspended, and they gave us up to next month to pass this bill. Yes.
With water. Then the second one is, why have you, is it an executive bill? I don't know why we have struggled so hard, just wait a moment, to create an agency which, in your own opinion, by your argument, it just can be referred to as a unit that could have been better put in an agency to be so designated as a unit that it must be. So your arguments is neither here nor there. So please, EJ, this is fundamental. Let's trash it out. It's the core of the thing. So why have you struggled so hard to create an agency for what, in your own argument, considered to be a unit?
Yeah. Let me just explain this thing. Mr. Speaker, let me just explain this. There was a bill to amend the EFCC Act, which we had the public hearing on. In that bill, there was a recommendation there. We have the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit there. But the Senate said they needed an FIA. They needed to pass a separate FIA. Because of that, we had several meetings. Our position initially was that we should amend the EFCC Act and create that unit there using the same EFCC Act to create the unit. And if you check our bill that went for public hearing even 2 days ago, it's there. So what we are doing, because the Senate said the recommendation, the provision of FIU, giving it its own autonomy, is in the EFCC amendment. But because we had several meetings and the Senate says that they want an FIU, they passed their own. They are not interested in amending the EFCC Act to provide a unit.
Let them refer it to.
You see, please consider the substance of the fact that in your argument, this one is referred to as a unit that does not deserve a head that will be confirmed by the Senate. I want honorable colleagues to look at that particular argument very well and see whether to go on with the consideration of this report, or you go and amend whether EFCC or ICPC or even police acts to have a financial intelligence unit, if it is going to be so called. So let me listen to colleagues. I will start from this column. I will start from this column by Dan Asuko.